Hi, I'm Greg Yowitz, Chair of the Jewish Federation of St. Louis. Welcome to 6:30 on 6:30. Glad to be inside on this rainy day, and so glad you have joined us for this special Facebook Live event. Tonight, we're going to have some special guests, some fun, and most importantly, talk about the important work Federation does for our community and how you can help. But before we get to the heart of the program, I'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's get-together. We appreciate the support from Lois Rice, Cornerstone Employer Solutions, and Cornerstone Insurance Group as sponsors for this special program. You know, we walked in here with our masks on, we're keeping our physical distancing, we are taking all the necessary steps, but we realize that this new normal really affects people, especially our seniors. We're going to start tonight by introducing you to two people who use one of our most important programs. Take a look.
My mom, Marge Fenster, loves to participate in Newark. She is a participant, but she's also a volunteer.
Some people I knew told me what went on with Newark, and my mouth was actually salivating because it was so terrific. My husband and I definitely joined. Many, many perks, many activities, many things to keep you in your home.
Since my dad died, it has been a great way for her to hang out with her friends still and be less intimidated to go somewhere by herself. She's not intimidated by anything anyway, and she's very independent, but it's certainly more fun to be able to go somewhere with your friends.
We've gone down to the Sheldon for presentations. We've gone to the Art Museum. We've toured St. Louis and some of the areas around there. Now, most of us do drive, but to go downtown and go to the Art Museum or someplace and park, wow, that's a challenge right there. But Newark has a bus, we go there, and then afterwards, being adults and enjoying things, we go to a restaurant for lunch.
Even though she's super independent, she's not going to be able to get up and change a light bulb or put batteries in a smoke detector.
It means I can feel more comfortable, especially in these years, staying in my home.
It is my mother's biggest thrill to have a group of hot fraternity guys from Wash U come over and do manual labor in the yard. So she will save up all the Girl Scout cookies for when they come because, you know, she's a Jewish grandma, she has to feed them.
They are screened, they are talented, they come into your home, they do what you need, they're very nice, no money involved. Oh, good for you. Good for you. That was very good.
I'm working and doing things with my family. My sister doesn't live here, so we can't provide 24/7 anything. When my mom has places to go with her friends or by herself, she has stuff to look forward to. It makes her feel more independent and actually be more independent.
The car parade is something new that has occurred for birthdays, anniversaries, whatever. And it was fun. They were honking and waving and sticking up out of the roof, and I made a sign. And I held it out there that says, "Hooray for Newark."
In Judaism, there is a large focus on respecting your elders. So the participants in Newark we're talking retired professionals, parents, grandparents, people who have done a lot for us. And so it's our responsibility now to make sure we're taking care of them.
Thank you, Amy and Marge, for sharing your story with us. Our first celebrity guest tonight is a Clayton High grad who spends a lot of time hanging out with top chefs and Real Housewives. But he also played Zeus on a Lady Gaga music video and wrote a New York Times best-selling memoir. And he hosted both the Miss USA and Miss Universe pageants, and he has a talk show and a radio channel on Sirius XM. Really, when does this guy sleep? Figure out who it is? Watch what happens next and see.
Hey, St. Louis, thanks in advance for the continued hard work you're doing on behalf of the Jewish Federation for the Jewish community, both in St. Louis and the world.
Thanks, Andy. We really appreciate you stopping by. Coming up, we'll take a look at what Jewish Federation is doing in our community to keep us safe and secure. But first, an important message from one of our sponsors, who, as you will find out, has ties to Federation going way back.
Our law firm, Lois Rice, appreciates the opportunity to co-sponsor this important event. Lois Rice has been a supporter of the Jewish Federation for over 100 years. Our support began with the legacy of Charles Rice, a longtime Federation board member and donor, and not just the Federation, to many other Jewish organizations. Our firm takes pride in continuing Mr. Rice's legacy and in supporting this year's annual campaign. We ask that you do the same and contribute whatever you can to this year's campaign during our time of increased community need. Thank you so much.
Back here live at Federation, while not many people are in our offices, we know that the need for security of our Jewish facilities is as important as ever. Fortunately, Federation had the foresight many years ago to create a community security director position to help ensure the safety of people all across our community, from security assessments at congregations to working with local law enforcement to track down suspects who damage communal property. Here's more about how your support for the annual campaign helps keep our community safe.
The role of Director of Community Security evolved from a national trend to have a point person for security within the local Jewish Federation organization.
It was a priority in response to the threats of anti-Semitism and the growing threats to the Jewish community around the world. The Community Security Director provides physical and policy assessment for all the institutions in the Jewish community, provides training, acts as a liaison for law enforcement. More importantly, though, what we've done is established a resource that community leaders can call 24/7 to help them deal with their community concerns. On any day, there are thousands of people that visit the Millstone campus. In 2019, we realized that because of the investment in this campus, that it had become a hub of activity for the Jewish community. Because of that, we worked together collaboratively to form a mobile patrol that provides service 7 days a week. One of the things in particular it does is it provides an armed first response capacity in unfortunate case in case we need that.
We spoke with a woman who has grandparents buried at this cemetery. She is still hurt by the damage.
Where there were scores of graves desecrated over the weekend.
This is beyond words.
As most people in the St. Louis community know, there was a major cemetery desecration at Hesed Shalem Cemetery, and it was very disheartening to the community. We felt like that one of the issues at the cemeteries was that we didn't have the ability to develop evidence that we could use to investigate. So we invested heavily in video surveillance systems. We invested heavily in barrier systems like gates and fences. It turned out those systems that we put in were actually the thing that gave us the evidence we needed to make an immediate identification. We worked with our law enforcement partners, took that person into custody, and charges were issued. It looks like it's not a hate incident, but it's an incident against the Jewish community nonetheless.
I think it's important to know that we're making an investment in the community. The board approved last fall $350,000 initial investment. That investment's going to provide a base level of physical security to about 30 institutions. It really is a great start, but it's important that the community keep investing because, as I said, it's a base level and we want to build on that.
Please know that security will continue to be a top priority for us. We were thrilled to have our next celebrity guest as the keynote speaker at L'Chaim in 2017. She's a well-known writer and producer and a family synonymous for those things. She always goes above and beyond, which happens to be the title of her award-winning documentary about Jewish American pilots who flew for Israel in the War for Independence.
Hey, St. Louis, Nancy Spielberg. Remember me? I remember you. I was there a couple of years ago, and you guys took such great care of me. And I sensed right away that this community, this Federation of St. Louis, does just that. They take care of each other, not just each other, but the world beyond. And literally somebody handed me the scarf off their back, and you got me emo pizza to take with me on the plane. So thank you. I miss you guys. I'm wishing you a great event. St. Louis Federation, everybody needs to be there right now. More than ever, we have to help each other, and you do just that. So wishing you great success with this campaign. Go get them for Am Yisrael, for St. Louis and beyond. And hopefully I will come back soon. Not to steal any more scarves, but I will take the pizza. Mwah. Love to you guys. Be safe and good luck.
Isn't she great? I hope everyone gets a chance to see Am Beyond. Coming up, we're going to talk about how you and Federation are poised to make a difference in our community. But first, here's another important message from one of our sponsors who will tell you why they think it's important to support the annual campaign.
Here at Cornerstone, we are nimble and accommodating and focused on what our clients need. Now more than ever, we know that the best thing we can do to help employers is to listen and understand what market conditions are affecting business.
Especially with all the uncertainty that exists in the world today, we can make sure that we provide our clients with individual, customized solutions to whatever they are facing so they can achieve the outcomes they are looking for.
It's not unlike how Federation works with their community partners. We're proud to support Federation because of the work they do to figure out where the greatest needs are in the Jewish community, and then work to develop plans to get the outcomes that directly address those needs.
Thank you to everyone in the community who supports the Federation's annual campaign. Without it, people who are in need of essential services would not get the care they need. Now more than ever, thank you.
Thank you.
Although the building is mostly empty tonight, I did notice that Julie Gibbs, Federation's Vice President of Development, is in her office working away. We're physically distancing, but no reason we can't be social. Hi, Julie.
Hey, Greg. It's been a great program so far. It is so wonderful to be able to use this opportunity to show people in our community how Federation is positioned to make a difference. It makes me think back to a few months ago when the pandemic began hitting our community in March. With an amazing and generous donation of $100,000 from Michael and Carol Steinberg to help inspire others to give, we were able to mobilize our community and raise over $680,000 for the COVID-19 Community Response Fund. It is unbelievable and so heartwarming to see how everyone comes together to help others. We could only do it because of the work we put in and year out with the annual campaign. It's because of the annual campaign that Federation is able to address the important ongoing needs in our community, as well as the uncertainties that we are facing right now.
Yeah, Julie, I too was so excited about that, but not amazed. Our community always steps up, and I know they will this year for the annual campaign as well.
If everyone watching hasn't already realized it, we are kicking off our annual campaign tonight. We are starting earlier than we have in years past because now, more than ever, we need everyone's support.
You're so right. Now, Julie, it's late. It's time for you to go. But don't forget to tune in when you get home.
Okay, will do. See you soon, Greg.
With so many people being laid off and business closing due to COVID-19, this is an important time for us to remind you of a crucial employment assistance program that Federation invests in at MERS Goodwill. Who knows when any one of us might need this service? Please listen carefully to what they have to offer.
Our mission is to assist individuals with securing employment, to improve upon their employment. You can have supports with looking for employment, securing the employment, working on everything from resumes, cover letters, whatever tools that you need to be marketable. Our mission is to get people out there looking for work to improve upon their situation. This program is a grant program through the Jewish Federation. So the Jewish Federation funds us 100%. A lot of times employment actually is a person's identity to a certain extent. Often when we work, you have more hours sometimes at the office than you spend with your family. So it's very important that a person is able to work, sustain themselves, have health insurance, have different opportunities. Just because an individual is employed, that doesn't mean that services end at that time. I follow an individual for 90 days after a person's employed. So I help with the transition, I help with the onboarding process any way I can. So it's really a process that keeps on, going. The end of July, we're going to have a great big huge influx of individuals that are going to need help seeking employment. This is going to be a very scary time, I think. When individuals are looking at donations and they're looking at, funding opportunities, employment has got to be up there at the top. And if you think about it, if you have no employment, you have no money. You have no money, you have no vehicle, you have no food, you have no anything.
Mark, thank you for showing us the impact of this program, now more important than ever. Our next celebrity guest got the acting bug in the normal way, at Jewish summer camp. After graduating from Parkway Central, he went off to NYU and has been a working actor ever since. Younger people remember him from One Tree Hill. Hipsters know him from How to Make It, and others will say he's that guy from Prime. But for all of us, he's a good friend of Federation.
What's up, St. Louis? My name is Brian Greenberg, and I am from the Lou, and I am proud. I just want to say thank you to the Jewish community there for all of your support with the Federation, and I want to thank the Federation for investing in the Jewish community of St. Louis and everywhere around the world. So thank you for your support.
Again, we want to thank our sponsors tonight, Lois Rice, Cornerstone Employer Solutions, and Cornerstone Insurance Group. Their commitment and your commitment are so crucial to our work. It allows us to do the work we do, assessing the needs of the entire community and supporting those in need. Now back to Brian with our last celebrity guests and a final ask of you this evening.
What to say about our final celebrity guests? They are identical twins, and they are so popular that just by saying they are brothers, many of you have already figured out who they are. Very stand-up guys. Got it yet? Take a look.
Hey guys, Sklar Brothers here, Randy and Jason. Hello. And we love our old community in St. Louis, Missouri, specifically our Jewish community in St. Louis, and the Jewish Federation has always been a huge part of that. We want to thank everyone for their continued support of the Jewish Federation, for all the great things the Federation does for people in these turbulent times. We appreciate everything that the Jewish Federation does in terms of outreach. We appreciate how they want to connect with the community of Jewish people in St. Louis and beyond. So we say keep supporting them. We say keep banding together for the cause of good, especially in these times. Thank you, Jewish Federation. Here's the thing that I love about the Jewish Federation. They love people, they respect people, all kinds of people, and we need that now more than ever. Thank you, Jewish Federation.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us tonight and see a little bit of why the Federation and the annual campaign are so vital to the continued success of our Jewish community. There is no doubt that this has been a unique time for our community and the world. And for me personally, I never could have imagined when I started 6 months ago that this would be my welcome and introduction to St. Louis. As a Jewish community, we have been through crises and threats before, against Israel multiple times, during economic downturns like the Great Recession, but never one quite like this. It's unnerving and anxiety-producing and the stuff of dystopian science fiction. There have been hardships from this pandemic, and there will continue to be for some time. For example, the Harvey Kornblum Food Pantry has already seen an 800% increase in new clients since the pandemic began. And when increased government assistance stops, we know there will be another wave of people in need of support and assistance. And, like every other crisis, Federation has been called upon and responded to the opportunity to lead the community. This is what we are built for. This funding decision also reinforced something that I hope everyone who is watching will take away from this program. The annual campaign is the backbone of this community and is why we, as a group, were able to address and respond to this, the greatest single challenge we have all faced together, with compassion, with purpose, and with clarity. We have, over the past almost 120 years, built a community network of support, and it is all because of the strength of our annual campaign, which knits together our community, one agency, one synagogue, one individual to another. I have been so inspired by the people I have met during my time in St. Louis. I've been inspired by the professionals who work in our community and the dedicated lay leaders who devote so much time and energy in service of our community. And I've been inspired by your collective generosity. Now is an important time for us to stand together. Now is a reminder of why the Federation is here. Now, as we find ourselves in an unprecedented time, Federation will respond as we always have, together with strength, all supporting each other. And now, more than ever, we need your help. When you receive that phone call or email, that letter or text, answer with a yes. I hope you will make the commitment to support the annual campaign and in turn support your neighbors, friends, and those you might not know yet but who make up our Jewish community. Please be as generous as you are able. Now, more than ever, we are here for good. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian, and thanks to all of our guests for making this a special evening. I hope those of you who watched gained a better understanding of the importance of the Federation and the work we do. We are here for the community, and we hope you are too. Please go to jfedstl.org/donate to make your gift right now. Now more than ever, we are here for good. Good night, everyone.